Marriage, they say, is a beautiful thing. Now I understand why the Baj used the phrase love. Don't get it twisted. Love is a beautiful thing. But the question is it truly beautiful as it's been painted? Now, some say, or some men say, they live longer if they're alone. And women say they are happier when they're alone. So one begins to wonder if love truly pays the bills. That's going to be the conversation on today's edition of Black or White. Marriage, is it a necessity or a necessary evil? We'll have to find out. Don't mind us. We'll just be shaking some tables today. But remember, the social media handles are live and active, and we would be looking forward to your reactions on this edition of the show. And I'm flanked by two lovely ladies. And of course, my brother is in the house and I can't wait to get his reaction on today's conversation. Let me start from my immediate left. Delectable lady in yellow, color that catches my attention. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And of course, the lady with a smile, Amira.
Hi, everybody.
And yes, he's sitting on the other side of the divide. He's not the umpire of this edition of the show. Well, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
This is like a sequel to the one you you handled. So I'd like to really hear your view. Marriage, necessity or necessary evil? What do you think?
Thank you. It's a very delicate situation to define marriage as either necessary or an evil in any way. Because the truth is this: every human being, peculiarly, has a reason for getting into the union of marriage. Everybody. And that's why I tell people when it comes into relationships, people are looking for what they lack most of the time, not for what they want. They are looking for what they really lack. They're looking for someone that's going to complete them. Two good heads are better than one. When one is not good enough, you have a problem in it. Weddings could be beautiful, marriages could be bad, but everybody could be better. So the truth about it is that the necessity of marriage and success in any other thing you're trying to build yourself into as a human being, marriage is good. Marriage is good. But as I said, there could be evil in it. Evil existing in marriage doesn't make marriage evil. It means there's an evil that just happened, and you could always correct it when you have two good heads in it. That will be my introduction about that.
Sorry. The area where you were talking about what they lack, I feel like in terms of finance, women is not because they necessarily lack money. That's why they're marrying a rich man. But when you look at the men that lack money, right? I agree with that part when it comes to that area. They try to, it's more better off for them if they are able to marry into wealth.
I don't even see how many men have the concept of social mobility. That's what we're talking about right now, financially, that a man married a woman and now became higher in society. Most times it's women that marry and become higher in society. So when you talk about the fact that men that lack money, I think the indices will
So
be
why is it most times is women?
The indices might be very... Women get married, convert themselves into who the man is, then the man's wealth or something rubs off on them.
I understand, but
Exactly.
you're saying in the population, there are more poor women than men.
I don't think he's
No,
suggesting.
that's not. I'm not saying that more poor women.
I don't think that's what
I'm
you
saying
said.
that we've not seen a lot of situations where a man
Marries a rich woman.
marries a rich woman. It's not as much as a woman marrying
I
a
feel
rich
like it's
man.
not just really talked about because everybody sees women mostly as gold diggers. So that be probably why we are not seeing the situation.
I will come back to that gold digger aspect, but let me ask you, in the 21st century, you're a 21st century woman, is marriage still relevant?
Of course, marriage is still relevant. Marriage is something that was ordained by God. And at the end of the day, like you said, when it comes to why people go into marriages, it differs depending on who, different people and, their ideologies, culture, and so many things. Understand? Some people get married because their parents want them to get married, pressure, and so many things. Some people get married because they feel that at a marriageable age. Some people get married because it's something they want. So there are so many reasons why people go into marriage. But I do think marriage.
So from your standpoint, what should be the supposed, will I say right or correct reason for getting married?
Okay, there's something that I always say: the reason why you do what you do is more important than what you do. Yes, because many people go into marriages thinking about the wedding today. Marriage is a lifetime commitment.
So compatibility for future to you is a key thing when it comes to marriage.
Yes.
And you see, some people will tell you when you meet a girl and talking to a lady, for example, I should tell you, can you take care of me? So the first thing the lady is looking at is who can take care of her, not who she can build the future with. That's why I was talking about the fact that marriage is relative to a lot of people, but the necessity in it is most times driven by what you really want, different from the fact that people want to get into it because of finances. Continue, don't let me stop you.
So for the what you just said, like, can you take care of me? Like I said, a lot of people go into marriage for the wrong reasons. Understand?
But that's not wrong.
And
No.
so no, wanting someone to take care of you is not wrong. Going into a marriage just because he can take care of you is wrong.
It's not wrong.
It is, because marriage is not just about him taking care of you. There's so many things
so
to
it's not
marriage.
So
making- the
who's-
person might not make
who's-
it as the primary reason.
No, but
I'm talking
But
about
I would
it
go
being the
into a
primary
marriage
reason.
because I know he can take care of me. And
If
because
that
I
is the-
want him to take care of me.
If that is the
I'm
only
coming
reason.
from a home that I'm already taken care of. So why wouldn't I want that?
Like I said, if that is the only reason or the primary reason, then it's wrong.
That's why I said, at first you didn't say primary, you didn't say only.
Like I said, if that is the reason, that's
If
what I
that's a
meant.
reason.
If that's not a reason, if that is the reason
the reason.
you are going into
Into the
it,
relationship.
it is wrong. Understand?
I'm still
Obviously,
why-
you
no,
should
but
not be
let me
married
ask-
to someone
let me-
who cannot take care of you.
So it depends. I
No,
think
let
it's
me
very
ask you.
relative.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Why, from your opinion, is it wrong if a woman chooses that the main reason she wants to get into into marriage particularly is because she wants to be taken care of?
See, when you go into marriage, basically anything in life, but right now marriage, when you go into marriage with a mindset of I'm going into it for this particular reason, the moment we don't pray for bad things to happen, we don't pray for calamities or whatever, but the moment there is a bump in the road, there will be issues because the only reason you were there is because he could take care of you. So that's why you
So the
see,
meaning he can't take care of you.
for whatever reason, that's why you see men lose their jobs and their wife becomes something else. Because the only reason she was there in the first place was because
she felt secure. She
exactly
felt taken care of.
So the moment he is not being able to do that anymore, maybe he lost a job, whatever the reason could be, anything could come up. You know, like 2020 now, COVID happened, people lost their jobs and so many things. Anything could come
Say
up.
that
We don't
again.
pray for it. But the moment he is not in that position to do it, there will be serious issues because the only reason she was there was because he was taking care of her.
Well, I feel it's really relative, but let me wait for
No, but
my question.
I
though.
wanted to ask you because you seem to sound like a proponent of the baby girl lifestyle. I want to be taken care of lifestyle.
No baby girl lifestyle.
Oh,
to
okay,
say.
okay.
But who doesn't want to be taken care of? Do you want to be taken care of?
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I would love to be pampered.
One
too.
of the things I think I've learned over time is also the fact that we lie to ourselves. In the aspect of growth in life, there's a place maturity comes into play, where the carelessness of care becomes hard work. The fact that you want to be able to spend money the way you like, you need to work for it. And there's a satisfaction that comes from the fact that either you work mentally or physically, you're part of the production of that particular finance. So you just don't become an alien to any finance that just comes to you, and you just want to live there in that luxury that you don't understand. I've met a lot of housewives, and I told a couple of them once, like a couple of times I've told them, like, it's more difficult to me being a housewife than working.
I want to be a housewife as a very independent
Nurturing the
woman now.
kids, taking care of them, sitting down at home, even idleness is more difficult than work. That's a concept that might be very difficult for a lot of people to understand, the fact that when your brain becomes dormant,
Just
it's a
being a
painful
housewife
situation.
doesn't mean you'll be dormant. I don't understand why people feel like being a housewife. Okay, so now talking about that only reason, why people using negative factors? Why not positive
Okay,
factors?
so give us some of the
Now,
positives.
my reason why I want to marry a man, not my reason, let's say a woman, is the way he's hardworking, he can take care of me. That's very attractive. Now, that's the kind of man I would like to nurture.
Okay.
Because the way he can take care of me is already gingering me to make him the best man in the world.
so you don't want to make
Now,
yourself
if
the
I
best
want
woman.
to be, and let me land. Now, being a housewife doesn't mean I'm going to be dormant. Doesn't mean I'm going to be ideal. I just don't want to go and do work for another man, or I just don't want to have to wake up in the morning. And my priority is to get to work early, as much as my priority is to feed my husband and feed my kids. my husband that is taking care of me and making sure I am all right should be my first priority.
Okay.
Because he am also his first priority, as long as he knows I don't lack. I don't know if you understand. So if you're not looking at the negative factors, if I know that this man taking care of me is very hardworking, it's going to be hard for me to leave him when things are down. Because I know at the beginning, he's not a lazy person, and situation will always happen. So I know that there are negative factors to it, but we shouldn't always bend the negative factors to people that decide to be with somebody because
What
they
you
can
are
take care of
no,
them.
what you are saying is different from what I was saying. For you now, the main reason you entered that marriage is not the fact that he can take care of you. Hold on.
That's what I'm telling you.
That
A
was just
reason.
one of the
That can be a
things.
major primary reason
Exactly.
for me. Primary. I've seen situations whereby women have gotten into marriages because they feel like, I'm not saying that there are no men that would get to that point and they'll still regard you. I started with her from grass to grace and all that. We have a fraction of men that are good. So I wouldn't say generally. There are men that when they start from grass and they get to grace, you are not their type. They can now afford their type. I don't know if you understand why. I've seen it. If I see a man that is already made, because already made now does not mean that's going to be the level forever. We would want to scale up.
Aspire for more.
And being the strong woman behind him, I would want to make sure that we scale up to that point. So that can be my primary reason, because he can take care of me.
Sorry, I want to
That's why I am.
Okay.
That mindset.
Let me say something. You know, when I started this introduction, which I think we are dwelling on for a very long time, but it's good enough so that everybody gets to understand us. I said most of the times people look for what they don't have. So you need a man who is made, because you're not made. I'm coming. If you were made, you will understand the concept of making.
Do rich people marry made people? Rich people.
So
how many times do you see rich people marrying people that are starting?
I wanted to land on a
Is it
particular.
because they are not made?
I wanted to land on a particular situation.
Okay, all right.
So if you're made, you understand how it takes you to be made. So you can be hardworking. You've done a lot of things to get yourself to where you are, and suddenly you're looking for a man that is going to start taking care of you without you doing anything. You've always been looking for nothing. Wait, becoming a housewife whereby you ask you what are the things you love. I'm coming.
There's nothing wrong with being a housewife.
I'm not saying something is wrong. One of the things you loved in him was hard work. Now let's ask ourselves a second question. Which I tell people one thing: he has not taken care of you. You loved it before you knew.
No, before we even married,
before we married,
he's
you
already
saw that.
taking care of me now.
I'm coming. Before you married, you saw it. So the facade you saw is one of the things that attracted you to him.
Why is it a
I'm coming.
facade though?
Obviously, because you don't even know, you cannot know the totality of that man.
You know
until,
someone's behavior.
Okay, do you know the thing? Sorry.
So I'm coming. I'm driving somewhere. That's why
Okay.
as a cutting is making it difficult a bit.
Let's
So
let you land.
that man has a need also. Same way you have a need of a man that will take care of you. The man has a need. The man might not need a woman that is not hardworking. That man, you met him at a particular level. As you said, let me use an example. You said made already.
Yeah.
He was made and he wants to make more. Without you, he got made. If you're coming into it, you have to be part of how he wants to be made more. Family was not there when he was made. So that means family will not be what will help him make more. If family is not going to be part of his business. I'm coming logically right now. If I have an establishment, I was working on my own with my staff and nothing affected me and I have made, then you're coming into my life, you're not going to be part of the business. You're not going to hard to be made.
So that's the,
I didn't have a child
man
then.
that I'm not, because you
So-
already. So the thing is that what if we're talking about made more? What is stopping him from being made more? If it's that he already has everything. You know that for you to be in a certain stage of your life is because of a certain factor. So why do you believe that marriage being a factor wouldn't take him to that point?
Like, well, what does marriage do to you to make you make more?
He has a woman that gives him peace of. Do you know what peace of mind
He
does?
made the money before I met the woman. He had peace.
No.
Peace existed.
Okay, see,
No.
Okay.
He was
I
made
know peace
before you met the
existed.
woman.
Let me-
that means peace was not the factor.
You know, okay, Dangote is still looking for money. So just because of someone is rich doesn't mean that they can't get more. There's no benchmark.
No, but
What
talking
he's
about-
saying is he can get more without her.
you.
How do you know that he can get more without
Because you already
me?
got
you already-
without you.
Exactly.
But what I'm trying to say now is
I don't agree.
He got without you.
if you can get from point A to point A with B without somebody, you can definitely get from point B to point. It may take you some time, but you can definitely make that.
I know that
She's
it's
now
not
saying, I don't want to be part of
necessary.
it.
But what I'm going
It
to
is not
say,
necessary. But what I'm trying to tell you, What factors took him from point A to point?
Hard
Are there
work.
factors?
Hard work.
So why do you now think that other factors can't take him from point B to
We
point
That's
C?
are
the
not saying
question.
other factors
What
can't
in
take
So
marriage-
why
it.
do you feel like just that the person that's coming to his life can't, because you say he's not, you do not necessarily have to be in his life to make him to
You
that
do
point.
not necessarily
I
have to be
understand.
in his life.
I understand, right? But do you agree that it's a factor
It's
that
a
could
factor
take him there?
That could take him
So
there.
now we are both ends.
Good,
Yes.
good.
Perfect.
So factor established.
What factor is
Right? That it is possible
That
that the woman in his life could propel him to get the more.
when a woman in your life
Do you
propels
know-
you to get the money, that means you're part of the business.
No. Do you know
No.
why?
Right?
Because for a lot of men, you are thinking from it from the point of, oh, you started this business, you've put in the work, it has grown to a certain stage, you can keep putting in the work and it keeps growing. But for a whole lot of men, as I know and I have seen and all that, the women in their lives actually serve as an extra encouragement to whatever is already going on in their lives. Understand? That's why they say if you end up with the wrong woman, it could break you. So at the end of the day, if you're with a woman and this is someone you love, this is someone you care about, this is someone you want to care for and everything, there is this extra, and you're with someone who's supportive, not someone who's draining you out, not someone who is trying to make your life a living hell, but someone who's nurturing, supportive, and all that. There is this extra need to like, oh, if
Also for more.
I want because of this woman, I want to do more.
Okay.
Understand? I want to be able
So,
to do
now
become more for her sake.
Both you ladies have said something that has aroused my curiosity, because even my mom, I've heard her use the word sacrifice. So for women, is marriage a form of sacrifice? Because I'm hearing you use the word nurture, encourage, and my brother has emphasized, look, this guy made it. He doesn't necessarily, you were not there when he started it from scratch, built it to an empire, and now you're coming to insist that there's something you're bringing to the table that will make him even get bigger. So are you, from your standpoint as women, Amira, I'm going to come to you. I want to get your own view on this. But how do you see yourself in a marriage? Do you see the marriage as a form of sacrifice, or is it, how do you see yourself as a woman in a marriage?
When it comes to sacrifices, it's always going to be made, but I don't think that's limited to just women.
Okay.
But I feel women do more in the sense.
Women make more sacrifices.
Yes.
In the marriage.
Yes.
Because why have you come to that conclusion?
Yes, I'm heading there. Because number one, when you get married, first of all, you have to be submissive to your husband. Meaning a whole lot of things is now not like, okay, as a single woman now, I can decide to just wake up, do this, do that, understand, just live my life. But as a married woman, there's this fact of, okay, my husband has to be involved.
In the
My
picture.
husband has to know. I have to like make sure he's okay with what I'm doing, and things like
Get
that.
his
Understand?
approval.
Exactly. But in healthy marriages, it's something that works both ways though. Understand? It's not just for one person. But for a lot of marriages, unfortunately, it's mostly the woman who is doing this. Now, apart from that, there's this other thing of, childbirth, pregnancy, the changes women go through
Okay.
to bring
So
life to
that
this
is
world.
also seen as part of the sacrifice.
Yes, because
I don't understand, because I'm a man. For us to decide that we want to be together, I want to believe that we already understand that we're going to have a family. We're going to raise kids.
yes,
Good. So how is it that bearing the kids is sacrifice?
do you know what goes into bearing a child? That question. Do you know what pregnancy and childbirth is for women? Do you know what they go through over that 9 months? We are going to have a family. The woman also wants a family, but it is more on her.
So how would you react
Than it
if
is
I
on
say
you.
that, okay, I may not know what you go through in 9 months, but I don't want you to go through 9 months, so we're not going to have kids. How would you react to that?
I want kids. I would not be married to you if you don't want kids.
Okay.
I'm not saying.
wouldn't
See,
see.
I feel we are, if we jump out of submission, we might lose a part of it again.
Okay.
My understanding about a lot of things might be a little bit different from how other people view it. And I try to like explain myself as careful as I could be. Submission from women, love for men, two things that the Christian religion spoke about in Ephesians chapter 5 or so, verse 16, if I'm not wrong. Ephesians chapter 5 or something. And he spoke about it as wives, be submissive to your husband. Husbands, love your wife. In my theological studies, those two things were the things they could not do. They were the things they could not do.
Those two instructions are
A man,
they've not been able to carry out.
a man, it is very difficult for him to love his wife. A woman, it's very difficult for her to submit to the husband. A woman loves you already as a man once you get married. A wife submits to the husband automatically, but he doesn't love. So the church was admonishing people to do what was difficult for them, not what was part of them. That's why submission might still be. But now let's look at the word submission.
once again, what?
Let's look about, I'm telling you, you might have not thought of it
I mean,
like this.
let him clarify.
The easiest thing for a man to do, as we all, whoever, everybody backstage, whatever it is very easy for a man to accept what Madam has said.
Are you talking from your experience
I'm talking
or
for,
your generalized?
okay, I'm married. I have a lot of friends that are married. We joke about it, we laugh about it and stuff like that. And all of come to this conclusion, Madam, I'm waiting they want, all those kind of things. But the concept of love is that you don't want to hurt that person. Hurt the
So is
person.
that the detriment of your happiness?
No, you don't want to hurt your partner. If you're my partner and I'll do something that will hurt you, that means the way I love you is not enough.
No.
So even if it doesn't make you feel happy, even if you dread making that decision, you will just make it.
I think
So you're
that's
sacrificing then.
No,
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere. So men do things that if your partner finds out, it will hurt your partner for life. To do it generally, every other day. So love is difficult for men. In many ways, different ways, love is difficult for men. Now, when you're on a mission and somebody is sub with you, so that person is sharing a mission with you. The context of submission is that you are sharing a mission with a man, not to lie down on the floor and be rolling. So people might have missed it. I'm on a mission. You are sub of it. So it's not submit and lie down and roll on the floor. So, but when we miss the concept, we start seeing it as a woman is supposed to wake up and come and clean. The house help exists.
Okay,
You don't need to wake up.
That's
Everything.
not what
Be the
submission
woman
is
or the
about.
man.
Cleaning the house is not what submission is about.
What is now submission?
Okay, so
when we are looking at sacrifices,
no, let her
sacrifices.
give us her concept of submission.
When you're looking at sacrifices, and submission was one of the things you mentioned, I'm trying to explain to you. A woman could be in UK, you're living in Nigeria, and she's part of your life. She wakes up in the morning to ask you, how was your meeting yesterday? What's your plan for today? What are we doing? That's what you said before. The woman can encourage you, go move with you. Yeah. That's exactly the concept of submission in 21st century. In the olden days, those women will tell you, go to your farm, go and work. I'll take care of the other things you're supposed to do at home. That's submitting to you. Nobody wants a woman that will wake up and kneel. I mean, you remember, my wife will not kneel down and come and give me food.
When
If
you
she does
say
that,
no,
I'll be
but
scared.
you're talking based on your own experience.
What?
I'm talking about
I'm
generally.
even so lost with what
When we
you're
even
saying.
talk about submission, we've had aunties, we've even attended weddings, and we've heard the kind of advices they give women. And your definition of submission is not what these people say. And it's not about lying down, it's not about kneeling down, it's not about all those other things, right? It's about once your husband says this, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, you
That
have
it
to
becomes
agree
law.
to it. It might not even be a sacrifice you want to make. Now, there are two types of submission. There's submission that I would want to do. As a woman, I want to submit to my husband. But when it now comes to the what do you even call pretend slavery? Because there are men that grew up with the ideology that this is how a woman is meant to submit to me. That's when it now becomes an issue. Because I am a woman who comes from two parents who has nurtured me to be the woman that I am. So just because of I've decided I want to be a housewife doesn't mean I was not a career woman before I married you. Doesn't mean I was not an independent woman before I married you. And doesn't mean I was liking shit before I married you.
Okay. I just want you to hold that thought because we're going to take a quick break. And when we return, of course, I did tell you at the start of the show, shaking our tables. We'll continue after this break. All right, we appreciate the likes and the subscriptions. Keep it coming, and most importantly, your contributions to the conversations will go a long way to let us know if we're we're on the right track and we are highlighting areas that tickle your fancy and your interest. All right, it's still black or white, and the question that's shaking the table or tables, as it were, is marriage a necessity or a necessary evil? And I still got my friends in the studio. Zika, I was like a bit lost when Wale was like trying to give his definition of submission. Of course, Miria too had her own definition of what submission is. But let me come back to you. Now, we've talked about the aspect of sacrifice. So, for you, and I'm being emphatic because I see you as a 21st century woman, 21st century going into the 22nd century wife. Where's the place of companionship? Where's the place of love in all of this? Because why I'm asking this is I'm jumping off Miria's initial statement that the man must be able to take care of her as her primary reason for getting into a union called marriage. But where's the place of companionship?
Okay, like we said at the beginning of all this, everybody goes into marriage for different reasons unique to them. So,
But shouldn't companionship be like top of the list?
nah, for me, companionship is not top of the list.
So what's top of the list for you?
Trust.
Trust. Interesting.
I need to be able to trust you. I need to be able to trust that you're a man of your word. I need to be able to trust that you would not hurt me. I need to be able to trust that you have my best interest at heart. So trust is number one for me. Number two for me personally would be communication and comprehension, because communication, I used to think communication was key until I realized you can communicate and communicate and communicate. If the person is not comprehending what you are saying, it's a waste of your time, and I cannot be in such a relationship. So communication and comprehension, we need to be able to understand each other. We need to be able to communicate with each other and get our point of views, understand, and be on the same page. I cannot be existing in page one and you're on the last page trying to meet somewhere in the middle. That's not going to work. Then after that, love comes in, then the companionship.
Okay, so
Because-
love is like number 3, I mean number 4.
Number three,
Number 3.
I would not love you if I don't trust you.
You could have all that. That's beautiful. But I would
what's
want that.
top of your list?
I would want that because I can't be with a man that doesn't give me that. But if you give me all that and you're still not able to take care of me,
So
I would take you more.
Taking care
So
of you.
let me explain what taking care of me.
Is number 1 on
Let
your
me
list.
explain taking care of me, because a lot of people feel like because I say he should take care of me means we should fly private jets, I should be living in a mansion and
man-
the rest.
you-
So when women try to say, "Oh, I want a man that takes care of me," men feel like it's gold diggers talking, but it is what you are attracted to, the kind of women
Okay.
you are attracted to.
Let me
So that's one that you feel like
let me
that
summarize
you feel
it.
it's too much for
Let
you.
me put it like this: that when you say you want to be taken care of, you
Yeah.
just want to be the focal point, the center.
Not
the
focus.
center,
I don't want
the
to
center
feel.
of his
I
world.
don't want to feel deprived of the
any-
basic standards of life.
Okay.
Mr. John, you see, let me give a summary of the conversation.
Yeah.
It's quite funny, and it's going to sound selfish because I am married over 10 years, so I can talk about this.
Yes, sure.
There's something called the fallacies of intentions.
Okay.
When you have not done, you think that these are the things you intend it will be like, but in all sincerity, they are just fallacies. They are lies you don't believe. Everybody understands the statement called you build trust. They will still tell you when you get into marriage is for better. That trust will be broken in and out almost every day. Tolerance now becomes the other factor that will come into place. But nobody will say I want to go into marriage because I want to tolerate. Everybody wants to talk about trust. It's a fallacy. A lot of factors kill you in marriage. They reconstruct you to become someone else, and nobody comes outside to come and talk about it. There are things you think you like that are without these things. These are the things I'm looking forward to. They will not happen. We all pray it will happen, but it will not happen. Your partner
Can you give an
will
example?
be a lot of everything you've spoken about.
Just one example.
Love, trust.
I agree with tolerance, but there's always a threshold.
I'm coming. Before you get, so now you know that threshold comes into marriage. I tell people one of the first reasons that I saw that made me know this woman I'm dating, I could get married to her, is that I can forgive her. A lot of people don't know that there are people you can't forgive. One little thing they do, let her go, let him go and play. I can't stay with this kind of person. You don't know you can't stay with the person until you stayed with the person a bit. So before you stay with that person, you don't even know it could happen to you. And when you get into marriage, it becomes a pressured environment. It will squeeze out some things that you don't believe. You will cry, but you don't want him to leave. You understand the concept of building. I was telling someone jokingly, I don't know how truthful this is. In Christianity, the marriage right, there's nothing like I will not cheat. All the I will not will be there. All the I will stay with you. There's not like, because probably they know that he will cheat or she will cheat and you are not going anywhere. It's not a vow that I will not cheat. That's a fear of one of the things that we're not looking at. Secondly, let's look at what Amira was saying. Amira is talking about the fact that there's a place you're coming from. You see, I always like to think outside the box, black or white. Basics is what you're demanding. That's the life you lived. Between when you leave school and you get married, most likely there's a space called spinstership or spinsterhood, where you live alone. It is when the life you're living at that time does not fit you or suit you that you are looking for one higher life. Which higher life? Is it the life you're living at home or the life you're living at the moment?
Why
do you
I am not living
feel? Why do you feel like a woman that wants someone to take care of her is not taking care of herself enough?
Alone.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I don't live alone.
There's a concept of care that when you are in it, care is not your problem. You have. Let me give an example. You are driving to work. You have a good job. You live in a comfortable environment. Yeah. You have everything, electronics and gadgets you need in your house. You can afford 2 trips a year or a trip a year. Whenever anybody is coming, if the person is paying for that trip, you're just saving your money. It is not a care that you have not been able to achieve.
Yes.
So I'm now thinking in my head, what is
care? So
is it food? Is it not clothes?
So you are, like you said, sorry, you explained it right.
Yeah.
I'm able to afford this. I'm able to have peace of mind. Won't I want to be with someone that keep up with that standard? And I know that when things are bad, as long as I love this man has taken care of me for so long. Won't I want to be the safety net for him?
Mira, I won't be surprised that our box will be filled up with prospective husbands who want a full-time husband.
Be able to take care of me.
You were trying to buttress Mira's point.
When it comes to care, number one, care is not always necessarily financial. Understand? And when it comes, I'm heading somewhere. And when it comes to taking care of someone, or a woman wanting someone who can take care of her, that should be a basic thing. Because when you go into a marriage for men is different from marriage for women. You understand? So when you go into a marriage, men are providers, men are protectors, men are this. Women, when you describe a man, when it comes to marriage and you describe a woman, you don't call women providers. I'm not the one providing in the house. I am not the head of the house. Neither am I the breadwinner of the house as the woman in the house. Understand? That falls to the man.
So you know
understand?
Yes. You know the man is
we agree.
I know the man is the head.
You agree that one?
I agree.
So
when the person I'm married to cannot provide the basic necessities in the house, it becomes a problem. It's not even about me not understanding what's going on. Like she said, money is important, not because of just money, but because money provides the basic things you need in life.
Well, I'm glad you shared this. Time really not our friend, and we could go on and on and on this subject. You've heard it. You decide. and let us know. Is marriage a necessity or a necessary evil? It would be great to get your comments, views, and reactions. And don't forget, follow and like and subscribe so that you can, who knows, you get the opportunity to be on the show sometime in the future. Till next time, it's bye from us.